Pioneers are explorers. Pioneers are innovators. Pioneers are leaders. We are Marietta College. We are pioneers. Find out how you can become a PIO at www.marietta.edu.
Coming up today on NewsCenter 15, Rihanna shone bright like a diamond during the Super Bowl halftime show.
And Marietta College football player Jack Wallace traveled to Texas this past week, where he donated stem cells to a woman in need.
We'll have these stories and more. NewsCenter 15 starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to Tuesday's edition of NewsCenter 15. I'm Grant Moore.
And I'm Tyler Salanitro.
Super Bowl Sunday lived up to the hype as the Chiefs got a big win, but we will talk about that later in the episode. What we want to focus on was Rihanna's special guest who appeared during her halftime performance for the last couple of weeks. Rihanna had a number of comments saying that there would be a special guest with her to perform during this year's halftime show. Well, the country got the answer, and she rocked her set while carrying her unborn child. That's right. In what has been the world's biggest pregnancy reveal to date, Rihanna debuted the baby bump in front of the world as she sang her biggest hits. While there were no musical guests, Rihanna still managed to shine like a diamond in the sky.
The death toll continues to rise following the earthquake that occurred last week in parts of Turkey and Syria. Search operations have been relentlessly taking place since the slew of earthquakes caused catastrophic damages to parts of both countries. And while there have been many rescued, the number of lives lost continues to rise. Yesterday, Turkey's disaster agency has reported 31,500 deaths, while Syria reports over 3,700 deaths. This brings the total number upwards of 35,000 lives lost in this tragedy. Both countries will continue their efforts to find and aid survivors, but there's a fear that there are still a large number of people missing that did not make it out.
Let's take a quick look. Here to provide our first look at the weather is Landon Santini.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Happy Valentine's Day to the both of you. Well, it's going to be a relatively abnormally warm day for Valentine's Day. We're experiencing about 45 degrees outside with cloudy conditions. The UV index is at a moderate level of 3, so you're not in too much danger of getting sunburns. Fair air quality of 24 and low to medium pollen count. The winds will be running around 6 miles per hour from the south. The humidity is about 73%. As I said, much larger than normal. And we're going to be having our lovely sunset today about 1 minute after 6 o'clock this evening. So if you're going to do something with your significant other on Valentine's Day today, today's a pretty good day to do it, and tomorrow will be pretty good too. Just wear a light jacket. That should be perfectly enough. That should be perfectly fine enough to keep you from getting cold. As I said, today and tomorrow would be a good day to do that, but we'll talk a little bit more about why that's the case when I return later on in the program for the 5-day forecast. But until then, once again, happy Valentine's Day, and back to you guys at the desk.
Many questions still remain after the train accident in East Palestine, Ohio last week. It is now known that a controlled release of a toxic chemical that were being transported took place following the accident, which could be seen from miles away with the controlled release that took place. Many residents in surrounding areas are becoming worried of the possibility that they will be affected by growing toxicity within the air and the water supply. Earlier this week, it was determined that the Ohio River, which serves as the main water supply to over 5 million people, could have been contaminated from the event. Currently, the Environmental Protection Agency claims there has been no rising level of concern following the event. But Senator J.D. Vance is continuing to voice his concerns on the situation. Vance stated that a long-term study will be imperative to continue this search for answers.
Marietta College football player Jack Wallace has traveled to Texas this past week, donating stem cells to a woman in need. Marietta College has been partnered with the organization Be the Match since 2016, which helps those suffering from rare diseases find donors who could donate proper stem cells needed for recovery. Head coach Andy Waddle encourages his team to sign up for the chance to answer another's prayers. His wife, Carrie Jean Waddle, was able to receive a bone marrow transplant which saved her life when she was 26 with the help of this organization. Jack was one of the 140 Marietta students that signed up, but it was him who got the call to action, which he took in a heartbeat. Coach Waddle said Jack had the opportunity to do something most of us never get the chance to do: save a life.
Up how the boneless wing became a tasty culinary lie.
And a plane being towed at an LA airport collides with the shuttle bus.
Stay with us.
Hey, this is Kevin Love from the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right now, many of us feel anxious. Mindfulness can help you ease those feelings. My nonprofit is partnering with Headspace to offer free content to help you stress less. Head to kevinlovefund.org/headspace.
Here's to the straggly ones, the first ones. But hey, I look good with this ones. The black, brown, red, and gray ones. The itchy ones. The ones grown by Dad. The ones grown for Dad. The I nearly didn't do it this year ones. And the absolutely filthy ones. They all raise awareness, raise funds, start conversations, and save lives. Because whatever you grow will save a bro. Learn more at Movember.com.
While some Republicans blame the COVID-19 vaccine or wokeness for the Army's recruitment woes, the military service says that the bigger hurdles are the more traditional ones. Young people don't want to die, get injured, or deal with the stress of the Army life. They just want to see that the Army has something that's relevant, said General Alex Flick. They see us as a revered but not relevant in their lives. The Army feel 15,000 soldiers are 25% short of the 60,000 goal recruitment goal. Last year, guiding the Army efforts and surveys intended to help pinpoint why young people dismiss the Army as a career. Fink said 10% of the survey says they do not trust the military leadership, based on the way recent events or missions have been handled. That could include the Afghanistan withdrawal or the use of the military during the racial unrest and protests in the United States.
An airline jet being towed on a taxiway collided with a shuttle bus at Los Angeles International Airport late Friday. Injuring 5 people, the Federal Aviation Administration said Saturday that it's investigating the incident involving an American Airlines Airbus jet. There were no passengers on board. The airport said on Twitter that the jet was being towed from a gate to a parking area when it made contact with a shuttle bus that was transporting passengers between terminals. The Los Angeles Fire Department said 4 people were taken to the hospital after a low-speed collision.
One day in 2020, at the pandemic's height, an earnest-looking man with long hair and the color of a buffalo sauce stepped up to the podium in Lincoln, Nebraska. He addressed his city, his council during the public comment period, his unexpected topic, as he framed it, and time to end that deception. I propose that we as a city remove the name boneless wings from our menus and from our hearts, said Ander Tristan, who managed to be both persuasive and tongue in check all in one. We've been living at a lie for far too long. When the Super Bowl at hand, behold the cheerful untruth that has been the perception upon the chicken consumer citizen of the United States and the menus across the land, a boneless wing that isn't a wing at all.
Chick-fil-A is jumping on the plant-based wagon. The Atlanta chain said Thursday that it's testing its first plant-based entree, a breaded cauliflower sandwich. At restaurants in Denver, South Carolina, North Carolina, the test begins February 13th. Chick-fil-A said its culinary team spent 4 years developing the sandwich after guests told the chain they wanted to add more vegetables to their diets. Chick-fil-A tested mushrooms, chickpeas, and even chopped vegetables formed into patties, but kept returning to the cauliflower for its mild flavor. Chick-fil-A is a relative latecomer to the plant-based fast food scene, where Burger King started selling its Impossible Whopper in 2019. Starbucks launched an Impossible Sausage Sandwich in 2020, where McDonald's debuted its McPlant Burger in the United Kingdom in 2021. And KFC began selling Beyond Meat Nuggets just last year.
Coming up next, the EPA awards the $1 billion to clean up 22 toxic waste sites nationwide.
We'll also get our latest news from Hollywood.
And it looks like things are heating up in the Mid-Ohio Valley, and I don't just mean in the biblical sense. Stay tuned for the 5-day forecast after this.
Where are we?
We're at Marietta College.
This is where we live at Marietta College.
When kids need medical care, they face life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org.
Marietta, a place some people call home.
A place of athletes.
A place of discovery.
A place for the future.
Your plan.
Your future.
Go Pios.
Two toxic waste sites all around the country will be receiving $1 billion from the federal Superfund program. The EPA said Friday that the money will help clear backlogs of hazardous sites including mines, landfills, and manufacturing facilities that are being targeted for cleanup include a former dry cleaning distribution in Tampa and lead to the contaminated neighborhood in Atlanta on the west side, as well as 100 ongoing Superfund projects across the country.
Last Friday, a charitable foundation named a canopy located at a Memphis park in honor of Tyree Nichols. The Hyde Family Foundation and Memphis River Parks partnered together to dedicate the sunset canopy to honor Nichols at Tom Lee Park. The site sits along the river and currently under renovations. Nichols, who was 29, enjoyed taking pictures of the sunsets, and Tom Lee Park is known to be one of the prime locations for viewing sunsets over the river. Nichols' mother, as well as stepfather, signed the wooden roof slate before the canopy was lifted and drilled into place. When the renovations are complete, the wing-shaped canopy will be covering a large area of the park while overlooking the river.
A building that is believed to be the oldest schoolhouse for black children in the United States was taken on its flattest truck last Friday. Half a mile down the road, the street to the Colonel Williamsburg Schoolhouse will now be placed at the Virginia Museum that continues to expand their emphasis on African American history. The schoolhouse was built 25 years before the American Revolution, and the original building was near the college campus of William and Mary. The building that was made out of this was pine wood, held 30 students at a time. Some of the students were freely black children and studied alongside the enslaved. Last Friday, hundreds of people were lined up along the street to celebrate the moving of the school to the museum. The Virginia Museum tells the story of Virginia's colonial capital through interpretations and restored buildings, and the people that cannot wait to see the school and their local museum. And Hollywood news now. Plenty of movies news today and award-winning updates.
Here's Addison Painter with our Hollywood Minute.
Hi everyone. Will Smith is moving on with The Life After the Slap. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence broke the news on Smith's Instagram. A fourth Bad Boys movie is in the works. The stars appeared briefly confused that the third film's title was Bad Boys for Life. No title or release date yet for number 4. Film Independent has chosen Hassan Minhaj to host this year's Indie Spirit Awards. The comedian will take the reins at the show in Santa Monica, California, honoring independent and emerging filmmakers. The 38th Annual Film Independent Spirit Awards will stream live on Saturday, March 4th. More info at filmindependent.org. A surprise Academy Awards nominee from an independent film will keep her nomination. Andrea Riseborough's Best Actress nod for To Leslie prompted the Motion Picture Academy to review the film's use of social media in its grassroots campaign. The Academy's CEO says these tactics are being addressed with the responsible parties, but Riseborough will remain an Oscar nominee.
Thanks for the look at Hollywood, Addison.
Yeah, now we'll head to Landon for a look at the extended forecast.
Well, Tyler, as you can see, we're dealing with, well, we're not dealing with much of anything right now, but as you can see, the mid-eastern area of the country is experiencing a bit of a mild precipitation warm front that's being pushed in our direction thanks to this cold front that the west northern portion of our country is facing right now. So their cold is bringing some warmth to us, and it's going to be reaching the state of Ohio and our neck of the woods in the Mid-Ohio Valley in 1 or 2 days' time. As of right now, we're not dealing with much of anything. So as I mentioned before, today and even tomorrow is probably the best day to go outside and spend some time with your significant others on lovely Valentine's Day. Now, as we get into the 5-day forecast, we can talk about that warm-up I mentioned earlier. Tomorrow, on Wednesday, is going to be probably the warmest day of the month with an expected high of 72 and partly cloudy conditions, and that warm front will lead to a very large amount of rain this Thursday with an expected high of 66. And as a result of that, we're going to have a drastic cool down as we begin the next weekend with an expected high of 36 on Friday, partly cloudy conditions. Continuing on into Saturday, we'll start warming up, recovering from that a little bit with mostly sunny conditions, an expected high of 46. And warming up even further for the churchgoers on Sundays with an expected high of 56 and some even more partly cloudy conditions. So, yes, today and tomorrow, take the time to spend some time with the one you love on this lovely day of Valentine's Day. But today is also special for another reason. Today on the campus of Marietta College is our annual Day of Giving. We'll talk a little bit at the end of the program, we'll talk a little bit about what you can do to contribute to it. But until then, back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Landon. When we come back, we'll have the latest look at the world of sports.
Stay with us.
James Brown and Bill Cowher welcoming you back to the Midnight Snack Run.
This is one tricky obstacle course.
He's reaching, but he pushes it away. He's approaching a plate of iced cookies. He blows right by him.
Oh, the fridge.
Looks like he's headed for the soda. Wait, he jukes left, grabs a water bottle.
Now he's just got to get out of there.
Look what dropped from the sky.
Don't do it, Dennis. That's the way you execute a Midnight Snack Run.
Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer.
Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Marietta College, home of the pioneers. A small town on the Ohio River with a tight-knit community and tons of opportunity. Find a home here at Marietta College. Bring forth a pioneer.
What are we gonna do? Ta-da! All right. Come on, on every pony.
Liza, I just love how ponies are better together.
Me too. You know, same thing with Girl Scouts, Kamiko. Every day they make each other shine a little brighter.
And they make the world around them a better place. So join Girl Scouts.
And be a part of the friendship and magic.
And now we're back with Hunter for a look at sports.
What's happening, Hunter?
I'll give you the rundown right now. Kansas City Chiefs have won their second Super Bowl in 4 seasons, defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 38-35 Sunday afternoon at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. Patrick Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes to 3 receivers. Isaiah Pacheco ran for 1 score, and linebacker Nick Bolton scored on a fumble return. Kicker Harrison Buckner made the winning 27-yard field goal with 8 seconds left. NFL MVP Patrick Mahomes appeared to overcome re-aggravating his ankle injury in the first half, rallying the Chiefs in the second to a victory that puts the team in a dynasty conversation after they won the title game back in 2020 and reached the season finale in 2021. Marietta College got back to their winning ways with a convincing 94-60 victory over Wilmington College Saturday afternoon in the Ohio Athletic Conference men's basketball action. I thought it was one of our most balanced games of the year, Marietta head coach John Vanderwall said. We were really solid on both ends of the floor and played with confidence. The Pioneers are now 14-9 overall and a 9-7 record in the OAC. Marietta travels to Columbus this Wednesday to try and avenge another earlier season loss. They would take on Capital University with a tip-off set for 7 p.m. Marietta College women's basketball team put on a defensive clinic and with the help of a dominating second quarter defeated Wilmington College 64-52 Saturday afternoon. The ladies that play at the top of the zone are really good ball hawks, said Marietta head coach Cole Vivian. Our pressure gave them a tough time getting into a rhythm on offense. We deflected passes, and Erin Hahn kept them to 1 shot. This is a special group, and they played well today. Hahn recorded her 5th double-double of the season, finishing with 14 points and 11 rebounds, and earned OAC Player of the Week. Marietta, winners of its last 5 games, improves to 17-6 overall and 12-4 in the OAC. Marietta hosts Capital University on Wednesday at a 7 p.m. game at the Van Johnson Arena. Finally, Barcelona is now firmly on course to win its first major title since Lionel Messi's departure, as Sunday's 1-0 victory over Villarreal extended the team's lead over eternal rival Real Madrid to 11 points at the top of the La Liga. Pedri scored the game's only goal in the 18th minute to secure Barca's 6th consecutive league win. That's all I have from the world of sports. I'm Hunter Withrow. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Hunter. Joining us at the desk is Landon Santini for our last look at weather.
So to quickly sum it up, because of a warm front we'll be experiencing today and into tomorrow, we'll be getting an abundance of rain on Thursday, which will lead to a drastic cool down as we begin the week. But the cold won't last very long, and we'll slowly start warming back up as the weekend continues. And it'll probably get warmer and warmer more consistently as we trudge through the rest of the month of February going into March. But this day, today, Marietta College Day of Giving, is a very special day, and you can help the campus raise funds to improve various programs that we have throughout the campus. What are some things that the viewers at home can do to help?
They could donate to Marietta's Day Giving website on the Marietta College website. And there's also some fun videos you guys can watch out there for your viewing pleasures.
We watched those this morning. They were hilarious. Yes. Great job, guys. And you could probably help, Tyler, by spreading the word out on Twitter. That would be a big help to all of us.
Yes, very much so. I will also go to every reader aunt that I know and spread the word as well.
Fantastic.
That's it for today's podcast. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll join us Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12:30 and 6:30 for WCMO NewsCenter 15, Marietta College Broadcasting. See you next time.